On December 16th of 2022, we had this huge snowstorm out of nowhere. I didn't have work because of it, and we had a great day off. Or I had a great day off. However, at 10:30 p.m. that night, I was in the middle of watching a YouTube video when the power went out. The power came back on for a bit, but then it went out completely. We have a generator running in my apartment for where I live. However, it did not kick on, so it was out completely. So I had no choice but to call it a night. And then when I woke up, guess what? The power was still out, completely out. So I had no choice but to get outside and go over. When I walked outside, not only did an apartment building lost power, but the whole town lost power completely. I looked at the traffic light, no traffic light there. I went over to see the theater sign, no lights there. And then I walked up all the way up and into a street and went down to the plaza. Guess what? Family Dollar had no lights. Domino's Pizza had no lights. And Shaw's, though, had lights on. But still, the whole town lost power like Pripyat, but without any abandoned buildings and evacuations and radiation being spread. But it was just a little bit like Pripyat, Ukraine. But like I said, without any evacuations, radiation being spread, and abandoned buildings. But going back, I had no choice to go into Shaw's. I had to buy 4 bottles of water because if you don't know, water does not work when the power goes out. And I didn't want to open up the fridge for anything for any reason. So I had no choice but to buy 4 bottles of water and bagels. I had to eat a bagel for breakfast. Like, I didn't have a choice. Didn't have a choice, people. And when I ate, the power was still out. And 12 hours later, the power was not back on yet. So I had no choice but to go over to the library because my phone was almost dying. I had to charge my phone up from there. And then I went on to the happenings around Springfield, Vermont on Facebook. And guess what? McDonald's in Springfield, Vermont wasn't open. And the Bottle Redeeming Center was not open either. It happened the next day. It happened on December 17th. It was so nuts. Out of nowhere. Being in a ghost town like Pripyat, Ukraine, like I said. But without, like I said, and I'll say it again, without any evacuations, radiation being spread, and abandoned buildings. Well, Springfield does have some abandoned buildings, but not a lot. And it's so crazy for me to say that, but it was a little bit like a ghost town completely. But at 11:05 or 11:10, I went outside, and guess what? The power was back on. I saw the lights being back on, the theater sign being back on. And let's talk about the Wi-Fi for a second. The Wi-Fi was not on completely when the power went out. Because, yeah, it was crazy. And then when I came back up on the 17th, when the power came back on, the Wi-Fi went back on as well. It was like so crazy. And this is the stuff I will have to get used to when I live in Boston. That kind of stuff. Especially when it snows down in Boston. Well, normally it gets rainy and all that kind of crap. But like I said, this is the kind of stuff that I will have to get used to when I move down to Boston. That's it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. Otherwise, I'm Lance Robeson. known as Lance Repton TD, and you are not. And I'll see you in the next video. So, laters.